let's talk a little bit about, again, the payments bank and what it could do. So, for instance, you have an association with MobiKwik, for instance.
Right.
They could perhaps get the license sooner rather than later. Would you look at similar sort of tie-up, maybe with the Paytm going forward, just once again to sort of also benefit from this, from the disruption we're seeing in payments industry?
At the end of the day, today, our license gives us the ability to do what we want to do. But if tomorrow any new opportunities or avenues come up in terms of partnerships or alliances, we would be more than happy to consider those.
So what is your association right now with MobiKwik?
We have a stake in MobiKwik.
And then going forward, I mean, you would open to opportunities in some of the other...
Yeah, like I said, when something would come up which makes, commercial sense, which makes, sense from a customer need, we are more than open to evaluate.
You've also tied up with ICICI.
Yes.
You've tied up with SBI also, ICICI Merchant Services and SBI. And that gives you more reach.
Right.
Are you talking to more banks, possibilities for more tie-ups?
So, first, let me share with you the nature of the tie-up that we have with ICICI and SBI. For us, it is imperative that we continue to expand our merchant coverage wherever our card members want it to be. So we want to be where our card members want to be, right, in terms of acceptance points. And part of it we do on our own, but when we have tied up with these two leading acquirers, which, like you mentioned, SBI and ICICI, the benefit we're getting is scale. So as they are going and tying up and signing up these new merchants, we are getting the benefit, because what is happening is these merchants then become, for these institutions, a single point of contact where with, let's say, the entire signing, agreement, servicing is done by SBI, but they are accepting cards.
And they accept
American Express and other card networks. Right. So it just eases the whole process, whether it's in terms of payment, in terms of reconciliation, and what it does for us is it gives reach to our card members. And so it's a win-win.
So would you look at
we would absolutely be, more than happy to look at
more. Are you speaking with more banks?
These are constant discussions that keep going on. So First Data and ICICI, which is what we launched, I think, about 2.5 years ago. It's done excellent, kind of traction for us. And SBI is a recent launch. It's just been about 6 to 8 months. And it's off to a phenomenal start. And, discussions would, as and when we feel we have the right partner, we'd be more than happy to discuss.
With the government pushing for more and more and wanting people to go more cashless, one area that they've tried to sort of streamline is MDR, the merchant discount rate. We've seen SBI on the debit card saying we will waive it off. That is your big source of revenue.
Sure.
Does that concern you? Even that may apply to credit cards as well, even though credit card, debit cards function separately?
Yeah. So the way I look at this is that we maintain at American Express that competition, innovation, the product proposition, when you look at the risk appetite, customer choice, these are the factors that should determine the market price rather than any market regulation. A lot of investment is made in payments in India, whether it is on the issuing side or on the acquiring side. There's a lot of infrastructure cost that goes in. Wherever, in a few countries, this has happened in the past, that regulations have been, attempted to be put in. Wherever regulations have been put in, what has been, and this is, experience from 1 or 2 other global markets where this has happened, what has been the impact is that innovation has come to a standstill. New entrants have stopped entering. The only gainers have been the big merchants. And they have gained at, whose cost? They have gained at the cost of smaller merchants and at the cost of customers. So customer choice goes away. The expenses for issuers goes up.
How does that impact American Express Bank?
So that's what I'm saying. So this is something which is not recommended. And this is something which we believe is not the right thing to do in a market like India, where there are so many diverse players, right? There is no concentration. I can understand if there is concentration of one odd player and you would want to bring in something like this. When you look at credit and debit for that matter, they're diverse players. And within that, the number one player on the credit card side has about 30% market share. And on the debit card side has 24% market share. So there is enough room for everyone to play in. And because of all the reasons that I just mentioned, I don't believe that
But the government believes by removing MDR, it's going to facilitate more and more people to use credit cards. And then scale will compensate for any loss that may come to
and like
issues.
I shared, because, it's sometimes, we've seen this in other markets.
Like,
Australia has an example.
Where the government wanted to do away with MDR or the central bank or whosoever, and it didn't.
Even in India, this was done in debit cards about a year ago for some period of time. That really did not spur billings. So, if the whole purpose is to get more people into the payments ecosystem, and then you got to put measures in place which address that.
Okay. The focus of American Express Bank for the last few years has been to become more inclusive as a brand.
Sure.
So any new products that we can expect, considering also the kind of data mountain that you're sitting on, you'll have the ability then to offer more customized products, exactly where people like spending, what the spending trends are, the consumer trends are. Do we expect a few new products coming into
I won't be able to, Ronojoy, talk about specific products, but what we do from time to time is that we take a hard look at the customer needs. For us, customer is front and center of everything that we do, right? So we take a hard look at what our customer needs are. We look at the spending patterns. We leverage data in a very big way. So going back to the closed loop, we use, technology, we use data, in a very big way to look at spending patterns of our card members, and we curate merchant offers basis that. So a lot of, and the closed loop helps us do something like that. So that is something which we will continue to do. It may or may not result in a new product. On the other hand, capabilities is something that we continue to evolve. So capabilities, we've just, one very exciting capability that we put in place not too long ago was pay with points. And that on membership rewards, where we really transform the experience of a card member, where they can even pay with points at point of sale. So these are the things which we feel that
those are the kind of innovations that you think.
Yeah.
A couple of last things, then, Manoj.
Sure.
You're now part of with your elevation, you're now part of the, like the American Express global management team. What's the view like on India? Because the government has just finished 3 years in government in terms of the reforms appetite. What's the view like from American Express headquarters?
I think the view is that everyone is very bullish on India, and our head office is very excited. We are highly invested in India. One of the reasons we continue to be highly invested in India is because of the fact that when we look at the set of, products, the set of assets we have, the track record that has got created, and more importantly, the trajectory which is ahead of us, just the runway for growth. When you look at a market like India, where the market is huge, but only 5% or 6% of the total opportunity today, or the private consumption expenditure, is today on
through
cards. So 94 or 95% is cash. Now that is the play which is available. That is tremendous. So there's enough headroom for all of us to play. And we have the strategic assets, we have the brand, we have the service, we have the people, and the product suite to make that happen.
So what are the 2 or 3 key priority areas for you now going forward, let's say over the next 3 to 4 years?
One would be to ensure that the momentum that we have, that continues. Second is we, as a team, would never get our eye off the ball when it comes to service. Because if there is one differentiator that we want to maintain, that is providing world-class service and experience to our customers. And it doesn't really start with customers, it starts at the prospecting stage. So even before somebody becomes a customer, the onboarding experience that we would like to give that individual has to be world-class. From there on, through the journey, that customer must feel that this is service not only world-class when it comes to a credit card, it should be world-class across any commodity, any product.
Manoj Adlakha, pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.